Welcome again to the lecture series on signals and systems. We are discussing about Fourier transform. So we have seen several properties of the Fourier transform and we have solved the Fourier transform, the basic signals, and some problems also we have done. Okay, now we will continue our discussion on the Fourier transform. And now we will see the frequency shifting property of the Fourier transform. Actually, this frequency shifting property is very much important as compared to another properties with respect to the further subject understanding. Okay, so this frequency shifting property is very important to understand the analog communication subject. Okay, in case of analog communication subject, you will learn about different modulation techniques. So modulation is nothing but the frequency up conversion or the frequency shifting from lower value to upper value. Okay, so modulation is nothing but frequency conversion, that is from lower value to upper value. That means simply we can tell the frequency shifting. What is there here? Frequency shifting property of the Fourier transform. That means this property can also be called as the modulation property. Okay. So modulation is the frequency conversion from lower value to upper value that is required in case of the communication process in order to transfer the message signal from one place to another place in the free space. Okay, we are using the help of the carrier signal. By multiplying the message signal with the carrier, the frequency levels of the message signal will be converted to the higher value, that is the frequency of the carrier. So where we are doing the frequency shifting operation that will be done by this particular Fourier transform. Okay, that we will see now. So x of t is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega. Already we have seen time shifting. Previously I have told shifting in one domain will be equivalent to multiplication of the variable in the another domain. So for the comparison with the time shifting property, I am writing here time shifting properties also. X of t minus t naught is a time shifted version of the x of t. It is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power minus j omega t naught. X of t plus t naught is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power plus j omega t naught. Already these two things already we have discussed. These two are time shifting properties. Time shifting x of t minus t naught, x of t plus t naught will be equivalent to exponentials in the other domain. Okay, x of t, x of omega, because of the shifting you are getting exponential. X of t, x of omega, because of the shifting you are getting exponential. Now we are doing the shifting in frequency domain. That means x of omega minus omega naught is the shifted version of the x of omega. Omega naught is the constant value. It may be 2 radians per second, 3 radians per second, 5 radians per second, like that. Omega is the variable. Okay, in the frequency domain we are doing the shifting operation. Shifting may be in the another side also. So omega plus omega naught. These two are representing the frequency shiftings only. Shifting in this domain will be equivalent to exponential in the other domain. That means generally x of omega is the Fourier transform for x of t. Because of the shifting, exponential is required. Exponential means already I have told e power j omega t. J omega t. It is time domain. Left side is time domain. So we should have the variable t. We should not have the variable omega. So but here omega is there. So actually this exponential is because of the omega naught. That's why I have taken e power j omega naught t. When here minus is there, you take here plus. Next one. X of omega means this is the Fourier transform for x of t. Plus omega naught is there. Shifting is there. So exponential plus omega naught. That means here minus opposite sign we have to take j omega t. This is the general thing. But it is in time domain. So omega should be omega naught, not omega. Okay. So observe these four things. These two are representing the time shifting and these two are representing the frequency shifting. When you do time shifting, in the frequency domain exponentials are available. When you do frequency shifting, exponentials are available in the time domain. Next, minus t naught, here exponential is having minus, plus t naught, exponential is having plus. Minus omega naught, but here exponential is having positive sign, plus j. Plus omega naught, exponential is having minus j. Okay, shiftings, exponentials with opposite signs. Okay, here shifting means here opposite sign, here shifting means here same sign. These are the shifting properties you have to understand very carefully. Okay, practice several times, it will be easy for you. Frequency shifting. Now we will see the proof for one thing. Fourier transform of x of t is equal to x of omega, that is equal to integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Now we need the Fourier transform for x of t into e power plus j omega naught into t. For this one I am going to calculate the Fourier transform. I should get capital X of omega minus omega naught. It is equal to, this is the signal now. Here the signal is x of t. How we have written the Fourier transform? Integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. This is the place for the signal for which we are calculating the Fourier transform. Here our signal itself is x of t into e power j omega naught into t. This is our signal. X of t into e power j omega naught into t. The signal is multiplied with e power minus j omega t dt. E power minus j omega t dt is common. Okay, this is the place for the signal for which we are calculating the Fourier transform. Okay, now we are rewriting this one. Integral t is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j, I am taking common, minus j t I am taking common. So you will get x of omega, omega minus omega is from this one, minus omega naught is from this one into dt. So it is equal to. Okay, now compare these two integrals. Integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, here also same thing is there. X of t is there, here also x of t is there. Okay, e power minus j omega t dt. Then this entire thing is written as capital X of omega. Why capital X? Because here small x is there. Why omega? Because here omega is there. In between minus j and t, omega is there. That's why it is x of omega, capital X of omega. Here also small x is there. So we should use capital X. In between minus j and omega, here omega minus omega naught is there. This integral is same as this integral. Okay, except here omega is there, here omega minus omega naught is there. So it is called as the x of omega. It should be called as the x of omega minus omega naught. That is the thing. Okay, so the Fourier transform of x of t into e power j omega naught into t is the capital X of omega minus omega naught. You can try for other one. Okay, so before going to see the next problem, here some more things I will tell. Okay, what we have seen previously, x of t is having the Fourier transform x of omega. X of omega minus omega naught is having the inverse Fourier transform x of t into e power plus j omega naught into t. X of omega plus omega naught is having the Fourier transform x of t into e power minus j omega t naught. Okay, these two things are representing the frequency shifting. Add these two and take here x of t is common. You will get e power j omega naught into t plus e power minus j omega naught into t. This side x of omega minus omega naught plus x of omega plus omega naught. In this way you will get, this is like e power j theta plus e power minus j theta, that can be written as 2 cos theta, 2 cos of omega naught into t. And this side we can write x of omega minus omega naught plus x of omega plus omega naught. These two we can send this side. So this is very, very important. This one only you are going to use in your analog communication as a modulation property. X of t is the message signal that is multiplied with the carrier signal like a cos of omega naught into t or 2 pi f naught into t. Then what is happening here? X of omega is nothing but spectrum of x of t. So the spectrum of x of t is shifted to right side by omega naught. From there we are getting this omega naught. This is omega naught from the cos signal. Okay. So when the message signal x of t is multiplied with the cos of omega naught t, then the spectrum of this particular x of t signal is shifted to right side by omega naught and left side by omega naught, and the amplitude spectrum is divided with 2. Okay, this is the thing. This is called modulation property or the frequency shifting property also. You see here, the frequency spectrum of the x of t, that is capital X of omega, is shifted to right side by omega naught. It will be shifted to larger value. If you take omega naught is very, very larger, it will be shifted to larger value. Okay, and the spectrum of x of omega is also shifted to left side by the larger value omega naught. So the low frequencies of x of t are shifted to very large frequencies. Here also x of t signal only, because here capital X only we are using. Okay, so when you multiply the low frequency message signal x of t, or in the analog communication generally it will be represented with m of t, that is multiplied with cos of omega naught t. Okay, or cos of 2 pi f naught into t, or cos of 2 pi fct, that is a carrier signal, that's why that is having carrier frequency fc. Then the spectrum of x of t, capital X of omega, will be shifted to right and left by omega naught amount or f naught amount, and the total amplitude will be shifted by 2, divided with 2. Okay, then this is the thing we got by adding these two. If you subtract, what you will get? Okay, so if you subtract those two, x of t, if you take common, e power j omega naught into t minus e power minus j omega naught into t. Capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught. This entire thing can be written as 2j sin omega naught into t. 2j sin omega naught t x of t. And this side capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught. And here x of t into sin of omega naught t. Is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2j. This is the thing we will get. Okay, so that is also called frequency shifting property only. Then one is having the Fourier transform 2 pi into del of omega. 2 pi into del of omega minus omega naught is having the Fourier transform e power j omega naught into t. Next, 2 pi into del of omega plus omega naught is having the Fourier transform, is having the inverse Fourier transform e power minus j omega naught into t. Add these two, that will be written as 2 cos of omega naught into t by adding these two. This is t, and this side you will get 2 pi, if you take common, del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. 2 will be cancelled. So what did you get here? Cos of omega naught into t is having the Fourier transform pi into del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. This is the Fourier transform of the cos omega naught t. Very, very important. Okay. So pi into del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. What are you observing here? In the spectrum of the cos omega naught t, only two frequencies are there. Okay, one is omega naught, second one is minus omega naught. These are two impulses only. At those two frequencies, we will have impulses with the amplitude of pi. Okay, then subtract these two. E power j omega naught t minus e power minus j omega naught t. And this side 2 pi is common. Del of omega minus omega naught minus del of omega plus omega naught. And this is equivalent to 2j sine of omega naught t 2 pi del of omega minus omega naught minus del of omega plus omega. 2 will be cancelled. Send this j this side. Then sine of omega naught t is having the Fourier transform pi by j. Here you will be having j in the denominator. And this side del of omega minus omega naught minus del of omega plus omega. So this is also very important. So cos of omega naught t is having the Fourier transform pi into del of omega minus omega naught plus del of omega plus omega naught. And sine of omega naught t is having the Fourier transform pi by j. Here j is a new one. Pi by j del of omega minus omega naught. Here minus we will get. Okay. For cos here plus will be there. For sine here minus will be there. So del of omega minus omega naught minus del of omega plus omega naught. Okay. Then if you see the magnitude spectrum for the cos signal, what we will get? If you see the phase spectrum, what you will get? And that has to be compared with the sine signal phase spectrum. Here j is there, that also we need to consider while taking the phase spectrum of the sine. That will provide here j is nothing but 90 degrees, and if you send to the numerator, that will become minus 90 degrees. Okay. Then now we need to find the Fourier transform of the signal f of t, that is equal to e power minus 10 modulus of t sine of phi t. For this signal we need to find the Fourier transform. So once again I am writing the signal here. F of t is equal to e power minus 10 modulus of t sine of phi t. Okay. So this signal has to be compared with x of t sine omega naught t. Okay, these two are looking same only. X of t is nothing but e power minus 10 modulus of t. Sine omega naught t is nothing but sine of phi t. So for this, just now we have seen the Fourier transform, that is pi by j into capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught. That means frequency shifting property only we have to apply here. From the frequency shifting only we got x of t sin omega naught t Fourier transform or x of t cos omega naught t Fourier transform. So from the given problem we need to identify when we need to apply the Fourier frequency shifting property of the Fourier transform. When one general signal like x of t is multiplied with cos omega naught t or sin omega naught t, at that time you can try to apply the frequency shifting property. Okay. So in this case, the general signal x of t is nothing but e power minus 10 modulus of t, and that is multiplied with the sin phi t. If it is multiplied with cos phi t, then we need to take the formula here. X of t cos omega naught t is having the Fourier transform pi into, here pi by j should be used for the impulse signal because it is the normal one. Here by 2 we have to take. If it is cos x capital X of omega minus omega naught plus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2, because it is sin capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2. Like that we need to use. Okay. So generally what we will take x of t e power minus j omega naught into t is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega plus omega naught, and if you take capital X of omega minus omega naught, it will be x of t into e power plus j omega naught into t. So subtract these two, take minus for the first one, and if you take x of t here, e power j omega naught into t minus e power minus j omega naught into t, that will be 2j sine of omega naught into t. Okay, so it is having x of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught, and if you send this 2j this side, it will be 2j. So like this we will get x of t multiplied with sine of omega naught t is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega minus omega naught minus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2j. When you have sine here, when you have cos here, x of omega minus omega naught plus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2 only you will get. Okay. Then by comparing these two, x of t means we have e power minus 10 modulus of t. It is looking like e power minus a modulus of t. So capital X of omega is nothing but, what is the Fourier transform of e power minus a modulus of t? 2a by a square plus omega square, where a is equal to, by comparing we will get 10, that means 2 into 10 by 10 square plus omega square, that is 20 by 100 plus omega square. This is capital X of omega. Now by comparing these two, we will get omega naught is equal to plus 5, sin phi t sin omega naught t. So omega naught is equal to plus 5. So according to this frequency shifting property, e power minus 10 modulus of t sin phi t will be having the Fourier transform capital X of omega minus omega naught. What is capital X of omega? This one. Wherever omega is there, we need to replace with omega minus omega naught. So omega naught is 5. So wherever omega is there, we need to replace with omega minus 5. So you will get 20 by 100 plus omega minus 5 whole square. This is capital X of omega minus omega naught is over. Minus minus. Next, capital X of omega plus omega naught, 20 by 100 plus omega plus 5 whole square. These two things we have written here. These two are divided with 2j over. Okay. So this is the Fourier transform of the given signal. Now next problem. Fourier transform of the cosine pulse. Generally the cosine signal is having like this. It is the cosine signal, that means cos signal. They are not asking the Fourier transform of the total cosine signal. Already we have calculated that one. Okay, here they are asking for up to this part only. Okay, cosine function. And they have given the values like this. Here tau by 2 and here minus tau by 2. Here 0, amplitude is 1. Only for this part we need to calculate the Fourier transform. So this is the cosine function. Now this, if you multiply this signal with a rectangle pulse signal of amplitude 1, which is having the duration from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2, then if you multiply these two, you will get that particular signal. Okay, the rectangle pulse is having 0 amplitude from tau by 2 to infinity and 0 amplitude from minus infinity to minus tau by 2. Then whatever the signal is available here, that is multiplied with 0. Whatever the signal is available here, that is multiplied with 0. So this part is multiplied with 1. So you will get the same part. That means this signal can be obtained. So the given signal can be obtained. For example, if you assume this is a x of t signal, the x of t can be obtained by multiplying the cosine function. That means if you take here, for example, it is a minus pi to plus pi. 0 to pi by 2 we have to take. It is pi by 2, it is a minus pi by 2. That means here rectangle pulse is available from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Like this we have to take. So x of t can be obtained from cos t. When you take here t, omega naught is equal to 1, time period is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Okay, it is valid. So cos t is multiplied with this rectangle pulse. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 with amplitude 1. Okay, when cos signal is multiplied with this particular rectangle pulse signal, then the given signal will be obtained. So now when one general signal is multiplied with the cos signal, means we can apply the frequency shifting property. Like whatever we have done in this case, same thing. Here general signal is e power minus 10 modulus of t. Here general signal is nothing but this particular rectangle pulse signal. So what is the formula here? When x of t is multiplied with cos omega naught t, then what is the Fourier transform for this one? Capital X of omega minus omega naught plus capital X of omega plus omega naught by 2. Like this we will get. Okay. So here x of t is nothing but this one. X of t is equal to rectangle pulse signal. This is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 with amplitude 1. Okay. So it is having the Fourier transform a tau. That means 1 into tau is nothing but pi. Okay. Sampling of omega tau by 2 omega pi by 2. In this way you will get pi into sampling of omega pi by 2. Then now this x of t cos of omega naught t will be having the Fourier transform like this. So omega minus omega naught means pi omega. Okay, omega naught means 1. So pi into sampling of omega minus 1 into pi by 2 plus pi into sampling of omega plus 1 into pi by 2 by 2. This is the Fourier transform. Okay. Now time differentiation property of the Fourier transform. So x of t is having the Fourier transform is capital X of omega. What is the Fourier transform of d by dt of x of omega? That is j omega into capital X of omega. In Fourier series also we have done this one. X of t is having the Fourier series coefficient is Cn. D by dt of x of t is having the Fourier series coefficient is j omega naught n into or j n omega naught into Cn. One time differentiation will give j n omega naught, 1 j n omega naught. K times differentiation in the time domain will provide k times j n omega naught. That means j n omega naught whole to the power of k into Cn. Okay. So at that time what I told, if you perform the differentiation in one domain, in the another domain we need to multiply with its variable. Here variable is t in the time domain. In the frequency domain variable is omega. In the Fourier series n omega naught. In the Fourier transform omega. Okay, because this discrete variable n omega naught will become continuous variable omega in the Fourier transform. So we did the differentiation in the time domain. So in the frequency domain the Cn is multiplied with n omega naught. Similarly, in the Fourier transform also x of t is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega, and d by dt of x of t is having the Fourier transform j omega into capital X of omega. Okay. So for this one, the proof is like this. 1 by 2 pi integral t is from, omega is from minus infinity to plus infinity, capital X of omega e power j omega t d omega. You apply the differentiation property on this one, or differentiation this above signal. So d by dt of x of t is equal to 1 by 2 pi constant integral omega is from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of omega is constant with respect to t. We are doing the differentiation with respect to t. So only t terms are the variables, remaining all are constants. Okay. So here t is not there. So 1 by 2 pi is a constant, x of omega is constant with respect to t, and e power j omega t is the variable with respect to t. So e power j omega t differentiation with respect to t is e power j omega t, and this one is nothing but j omega we have to put in the here, because the differentiation of this one will be j omega, we are writing here, that is here. Okay. So j omega into this entire thing is looking like x of t only. So because of the d by dt, what is the extra thing we are getting? J omega. That's what we have written here. Okay. Then okay, it is not cosine pulse, it is a triangle pulse. Fourier transform of that particular triangle pulse we need to find. Okay. So in order to do the Fourier transform of this particular triangle pulse, we can go for in different methods. We can use directly this particular integral. Integral t is from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of t e power minus j omega t dt. By using this one only we can able to calculate this one. Okay, that is the first method. Another method is this one we are studying after this time differentiation property. Okay, so you can take here time differentiation property, you can able to apply that one, because these two are ramps. Okay, this triangle is having two ramp signals. Okay, one is two straight lines are there. This is of positive slope, this is of negative slope is there. So you can do the differentiation for this one. So you will get one step signal here, one more step you will get here. You can do one more time differentiation because here steps are there. You will get impulses. Two times differentiation property you can able to apply. Okay, that is another method. One method is directly apply this particular integral equation, or we can do time differentiation property also we can able to apply. In case of Fourier series, we have done problems like this. Okay, that is applicable for the periodic signals. So the triangle signal we have taken, at that time also we used time differentiation property only. What are the common things we are applying in Fourier series and Fourier transform, you observe. Okay, then all the problems will be easy and the subject will also be simple. Okay, so here triangle is there, we applied a time differentiation property two times. Here also triangle is there, you can able to apply time differentiation property. Okay, and the properties are also similar only. So in order to know the differentiation of this particular signal, you need to know these two straight lines equations. Here the coordinates are minus tau comma 0. Here the coordinates are 0 comma 1. Here the coordinates are tau comma 0. So the slope will be y2 minus y1, that is 1 minus 0 by 0 plus tau, that is 1 by tau. This is the slope for this particular line. And this is having the slope 1 minus 0 by 0 minus tau, that is minus 1 by tau. Okay, minus 1 by tau is the slope for this one. So this line equation I am writing now, y minus y1 is equal to slope into x minus x1, that is y is equal to x by tau plus 1. Sorry, y x by tau minus 1 by tau, like this you will get. Okay, and this line equation is y minus y1 is equal to slope into x minus x1. So it is equal to minus 1 by tau into x plus 1. Okay, it is also plus 1. So given signal, for example f of t, that is given as plus 1 by tau into t plus 1. This is from minus tau to 0, and the next one is 1 by tau into t plus 1. This is from 0 to tau. So in this way we can able to write the f of t signal from minus tau to 0. This is the line equation, that is t by tau plus 1, and from 0 to tau this is the line equation. Okay, apply the differentiation property on this. So d by dt of f of t is equal to 1 by tau, and this is also valid from minus tau to 0 only, and d by dt of f of t is minus 1 by tau. This is valid from 0 to tau only. Okay, so now differentiation version I am writing here. If you do differentiation for this minus tau to 0, what did you get here? 1 by tau. So it is a step signal you will get, that is of the amplitude 1 by tau, and here 0 to tau minus 1 by tau is there. So with the negative amplitude you will get minus 1 by tau. One more time differentiation we have to perform. If you do one more time differentiation, at minus tau, what is happening? The amplitude is suddenly changing from 0 to 1 by tau. So here you will get one impulse with the amplitude 1 by tau, and exactly at 0, what is happening? Amplitude is changing from 1 by tau to minus 1 by tau. So you will get an impulse with minus 2 by tau. Okay, after t is equal to 0, immediately you have the amplitude minus 1 by tau, and before t is equal to 0, amplitude is 1 by tau. So after minus before means minus 1 by tau minus 1 by tau, you will get minus 2 by tau. Next, from here to here amplitude is constant is there, so constant differentiation is 0, and at t is equal to tau, you will have the amplitude is now one impulse with the amplitude of 1 by tau, because it is changing from minus 1 by tau to 0. Okay, here it becomes 0 only, that means 0 minus 1 by tau will become 1 by tau. So in this way, after two differentiations on the given signal, you have the three impulses like this. Okay, so This one now I am writing in terms of the equation, that is 1 by tau del of t plus tau. Next, one more thing is minus 2 by tau del of t, and this one is plus 1 by tau del of t minus tau. This is a mathematical representation for this one. Okay, so what this is nothing but what? If it is f of t signal, it is 2 times differentiation, d square f of t by dt square is equal to this one you got. Okay, otherwise here only I am writing d square f of t by dt square is equal to this one. Okay, then according to Fourier transform, because 2 times differentiation is there, 2 times j omega we have to take. Next, Fourier transform of f of omega, it is equal to 1 by tau. The Fourier transform of del of t is 1. Because of the shifting, you will get exponential plus j omega tau. Next, minus 2 by tau. Del of t is having 1 plus 1 by tau. Del of t is having 1 e power minus j omega tau. Same this j square means minus 1 we will get omega square. So minus omega square should be available in the denominator of this one. Or you can able to rearrange this one here, 1 by tau you can take common, so e power j omega tau plus e power minus j omega tau, that can be written as 2 times of the cos omega tau. Like that we can able to write. So finally we can get a f of omega. So here the thing is, what is the technique we have to apply? That is very important. By seeing the problem, what is the technique we can able to apply? Same triangles, periodic triangle signal we have taken in the Fourier series, where we done the, or we have calculated the Fourier series or the Fourier series coefficient Cn by the application of the time differentiation property only. If you apply 2 times, the triangle will become impulses like this. Okay, for the impulses, easy to write the Fourier transform or Fourier series coefficient also, if it is periodic. Okay, so with that knowledge we can able to do very easily. Okay, next, time differentiation property of the Fourier transform. Sorry, frequency differentiation. So x of t is having, the Fourier transform is x of omega, and frequency differentiation means d by d omega of x of omega, means here you will get minus jt into x of omega. Okay, previously I told, when you do the differentiation in one domain, in the another domain we have to multiply with the variable. You see here, differentiation we did in the frequency domain. What is the variable in the time domain? Time only. So time is multiplied with x of t. X of t is multiplied with the time. Anything is okay. Okay, so we need to see the proof for this. X of omega is nothing but integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Do the differentiation on both sides with respect to omega. With respect to omega we have to do, so integral t is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of t is constant, here omega is there, so it is a variable, so e power minus j omega t. I am doing the differentiation for this one, so minus jt is I am writing here, and dt. So this entire thing is looking like again x of omega only. So what is came in place of this d by d omega? Minus jt. Okay, so that's why here minus jt came. That is the thing. Okay, so after seeing this property, where we need to apply, that is very important. When already known signal, okay, for you already you may know one known signal, that means you have already known about this particular Fourier transform of the time domain signal. When that time domain signal is multiplied with t, at that time you can able to apply this particular property. You know what is d by d omega of x of omega, that is minus jt into x of omega, that is inverse Fourier transform of d by d omega of x of omega. You can do this proof also without seeing, but you don't know at what problems or at what time this property has to be applied. That is very important. That will come with the practice on. Okay. So e power minus at u of t is having the Fourier transform 1 by a plus j omega. What is the Fourier transform of this one? If you don't know that this property has to be applied for this problem, okay, if you don't know that one, in order to do this problem it will take lot of time. Okay, you need to know which property has to be applied for which problem. Here already e power minus at u of t, this is already our known signal. It is the standard signal, already we know the Fourier transform for that one. that is 1 by a plus j omega, that is multiplied with t. So whenever x of t known signal is multiplied with minus jt or minus t, we need to apply the frequency differentiation property. We are doing the differentiation in the frequency domain, that means the time domain signal has to be multiplied with minus jt, that means variable is t. Okay, so here I will write, you see here, e power minus at u of t is having the Fourier transform 1 by a plus j omega. Okay, so d by d omega of this one we have to take, d by d omega of 1 by a plus j omega. This is like x of omega, we are doing the differentiation for that one, that's why for the x of t minus jt is multiplied, here only t is there, that means that minus j should come in the denominator. Okay, then that will be the answer. You need to do differentiation for this one. It is like 1 by x, that means minus 1 by x square, minus 1 by a plus j omega whole square, and here j you will get, this is 1 by minus this one will be cancelled. Answer is 1 by a plus j omega whole square. Okay, now here you see one, what is the difference in between these two? Again t is multiplied for this one. You consider this is the known signal for us now, and this is a known 1 by a plus j omega whole square is the known Fourier transform, that x of t is multiplied with 1t. Okay, this can be written as t into e power minus at u of t. This is already known signal, it is multiplied with t. Okay, so for this known signal t into e power minus at u of t, what is the Fourier transform? 1 by a plus j omega whole square, already we know that. Now this x of t signal is multiplied with t, means again you need to apply that particular property. Okay, so how to apply that one? Minus, it is having a Fourier transform d by d omega of 1 by a plus j omega whole square, and actually here minus jt is there, but in the given problem minus j is not there, so you take in the denominator minus j. Do the Fourier transform, do the differentiation for this one. 1 by x square means minus 2 by x cube we will get. So minus 1 by j minus 2 by x cube means a plus j omega whole cube, and the differentiation for this one will be j. Okay, next minus jj will be cancelled, it is 2 by a plus j omega whole cube you will get. Okay, next if you observe here, t into e power minus at u of t is having the Fourier transform 1 by, without t I am writing first 1 by a plus j omega. With t, e power minus at u of t is having the Fourier transform 1 by a plus j omega whole square. 2 times t if you take, what did you get? 2 by a plus j omega whole cube. For example, here we can write here t power 0 also. When power is 0, here 1 is there. Okay, when power is 1, here also 1 is there. When power is 2, here 2 is there. That means when power is 2, we can write here 2 factorial. When power is 1, it is 1 factorial. When power is 0, it is 0 factorial. 0 factorial is also 1 only. Okay, then what about this one? A plus j omega whole power 1, a plus j omega whole power 2. Here power is 1, here 1 plus 1, here power is 0, 0 plus 1, here power is 2, 2 plus 1. If it is power is n, what is happening here? We need to write here n factorial by a plus j omega whole power n plus 1 we have to write. So final answer is n factorial by a plus j omega whole power n plus 1 will come. Okay. So this property has to be applied whenever the general signal is multiplied with t or t square or t cube or t power n. Next, the Fourier transform of Gaussian pulse, that is f of t is equal to e power minus at square. In total signals and systems, there is a importance for 2 signals. One is impulse train signal and second one is the Gaussian pulse signal. What is that importance means? If you take the Fourier transform of e power minus at u of t, what you are getting? 1 by a plus j omega. What is the magnitude spectrum? 1 by square root of a square plus omega square. If you draw this one, you will get like this. You will get like this. You will get. Okay. That means if you in the time domain, if you take the signal, it is like this, exponentially decreasing signal. but in the frequency domain it is like bell shaped signal. Okay, so the shape of the time domain signal and the shape of the frequency domain signal both are different. Now you take another signal like a rectangle pulse signal in time domain. In the frequency domain you are getting sinc function. Like this you will get sinc function you will get. So the shape of the time domain signal is different from the shape of the frequency domain signal. But only for these two signals, if you take impulse train in the time domain, you will get impulse train in the frequency domain. The amplitudes may be different, but the shape of the signal is same. Similarly, if you take Gaussian pulse signal in the time domain, in the frequency domain also you will get the Gaussian pulse signal only. So the shape of the signal will not be affected even we are providing the transformation technique like Fourier transform. So the Fourier transform of impulse train is impulse train. The Fourier transform of Gaussian pulse is also Gaussian pulse. Only for these two signals it is possible. Okay. So already we have seen the Fourier transform of the impulse train signal, that is impulse train signal. Already we have proved that one in case of the Fourier transform of the periodic signal. Now we are going to prove the Fourier transform of the Gaussian is also Gaussian. Okay. So given signal is f of t is equal to e power minus at square. Do the differentiation for this one. D by dt of f of t is nothing but e power minus at square. If you do differentiation for this one, minus 2at, and apply the frequency shifting property for this one. So f of t is having the Fourier transform f of omega. If you apply frequency differentiation property, d by d omega of f of omega is nothing but minus jt into f of t, that is minus jt into e power minus at square. So this side is d by d omega of f of omega, like this will get. But this d by dt of f of t is nothing but this one. It is equal to what you will get? It is equal to j omega into f of omega, like this you will get. Okay. So this is f of omega is nothing but this one, and here t into, right, t into e power minus at square is equal to this minus 2a, we can send this side, that is j omega by minus 2a f of omega. This is from this one, and from this t into e power minus at square is having the Fourier transform. This minus 1 by t I am writing this side, sorry, minus j. So 1 by minus j into d by d omega of f of omega. So this one we have written from the time differentiation property. Okay. And this one we have written from the frequency differentiation property. In the time differentiation property we got t into e power minus at square. What is the Fourier transform? In the frequency differentiation property also we got what is the Fourier transform of t into e power minus at square. In both cases, time differentiation property and in the frequency differentiation property, left side we can have t into e power minus at square. Okay, this one is from the time differentiation property we got, and this one is from the frequency differentiation property. Because left side both are same signals, right side Fourier transforms must be equal. Okay, so that's what I am writing here, that is j omega by minus 2a into f of omega is equal to minus 1 by j into d by d omega into f of omega. Okay, this minus 1 can be written as j square, this j will be cancelled, and this j will be cancelled. Next this d omega we can send this side, minus 1 by 2a omega d omega, it is equal to d into f of omega by f of omega, like this we can write. Okay, minus omega by 2a into d omega, this is d f of omega by f of omega. Next, do the integration of both. This is like a variable separable method. In order to solve for the f of omega, I am applying the variable separable method like this. Okay, do the integration of both sides. You will get minus 1 by 2a omega square, and this side logarithm of f of omega plus c is also available. Okay, so f of omega is equal to e power minus omega square by 2a. This is the Fourier transform. What is the time domain signal? E power minus at square The Fourier transform is e power minus omega square by 2a. So very important. How can I tell this is also the Gaussian pulse? Means you see the nature of the signal e power minus variable is t that has been squared, variable is omega that has been squared. These are scaling factors because of this minus a multiplied with t square, or because of this 2a divided with this omega square. These are not affecting the nature of the signal. Nature of the signal is affected by the variables only. So e power minus t square, e power minus omega square. These are the things. Okay, here t is the variable, here omega is the variable. So here Gaussian pulse is there. Here also you will get Gaussian pulse only. So the way of doing this Fourier transform of the Gaussian pulse is very different as compared to other things. Okay, here two types of the properties we have applied. One is time differentiation property. Second one is the frequency differentiation property. After that, variable separable method, which is available in the mathematics, that also we have taken. Okay, so practice this one several times, then only you will get the perfection. And very important thing is the Fourier transform of the impulse train is impulse train, and the Fourier transform of the Gaussian pulse is also the Gaussian pulse. Okay, this mathematical representation is also important. E power minus 80 square is having the Fourier transform e power minus omega square by 2a. Okay, thank you.